From the Super Bowl opening night to the subsequent daily press conferences, the public engagements of Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts have evolved into a week-long session of inquiries, potentially attributed to the extensive array of media outlets present in New Orleans for the NFL championship, or due to the limited scope of questions that can be posed concerning the Kansas City Chiefs' defense. Among the questions directed at Hurts during this week were requests for guidance aimed at young individuals who aspire to achieve their own goals, akin to Hurts's own journey. One piece of advice I would offer is to remain encouraged, Hurts articulated. Remain encouraged and be authentic. That's another important aspect. With the multitude of observers and the inevitable comparisons, I believe our younger generation faces the pressures of social media and its implications, attempting to measure themselves against others. However, everyone is distinctly unique, and each individual possesses their own special qualities. I think it is essential for people to recognize and accept that. At the age of 26, Hurts is gearing up for his second appearance in the Super Bowl. The Eagles are set to face the Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl LIX at 5:30 p.m. CST on Sunday at Caesars Superdome in New Orleans. Opinions are one aspect, while purpose is another, Hurts expressed. I believe it is up to each individual to discover their own purpose. Purpose resides within oneself. One must cultivate a vision for their aspirations and objectives, which are largely influenced by your mission, motivation, and priorities. I am aware that I have devoted substantial time to this game and this craft, and I recognize this is my calling during this phase of my life. I aspire to perform to the best of my abilities. Eagles coach Nick Sirianni commented that adversity has significantly influenced Hurts, particularly recalling the moment in 2018 when the quarterback lost his starting position at Alabama after guiding the Crimson Tide to consecutive appearances in the CFP National Championship game. We all encounter moments of adversity in our lives, Sirianni remarked on Tuesday. Adversity is inescapable. It will confront everyone. No one can evade it. What matters is the manner in which you respond. It is about your reaction and how you embrace that adversity, understanding that doing so can facilitate your growth. So look at Jalen. He is undeniably a victor. He has achieved success at every location he has played. Presently, he is commencing his second Super Bowl. Therefore, it is evident that Jalen has confronted and embraced every challenge he has encountered, which has contributed to his development. Once again, one could inquire about this directly from him. However, I observe a player who demonstrates this attitude consistently, clearly understanding his personal narrative, and I identify a player who exhibits this quality throughout each game. Mastery at the quarterback position necessitates such an ability, and it is essential across all positions within the realm of football. Thus, I hold profound admiration for him and his approach to adversity, as it has significantly contributed to shaping his character. Hurts noted that he strives to evolve from each experience. It's been a journey, Hurts remarked. I often state that there is no ultimate destination in this journey. Rather, it is solely about the process. It is crucial to approach it one day at a time. For me, it involves numerous experiences, countless lessons, significant transformations, and the capacity to grow and learn from various circumstances. This is what I've always valued: the ability to gain insights from both positive and negative experiences. I embrace them equally and persist in my pursuit of improvement. Jalen Hurts may be preparing for one of the most significant games of the year at Super Bowl 2025, yet the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback is also contemplating the prospect of competing in flag football at the LA28 Olympics in the coming years. I don't know if there's anything official, if we'd be able to participate, but I know it'd be a great honor to be able to represent and have the opportunity to have a gold medal, Hurts stated during a press conference prior to his team's Super Bowl matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs. Many other sports have that opportunity. I believe it would be excellent for us to have that same chance as well. This is not the first occasion that Hurts, serving as a flag football ambassador for LA28, has conveyed his enthusiasm for potentially being a member of the USA flag football team during the Olympic Games held on home soil. The 26-year-old appeared in a promotional campaign for LA28 in August 2024, where he ignited the torch of the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum by tossing a flaming football into the stadium bowl. This venue is among those designated for use during the forthcoming Summer Olympics. Earlier that summer, Hurts participated in the Eagles Girls Flag Football League Championships to advocate for women's flag football. "It was a privilege to be involved in this and to observe this significant occasion," stated Hurts. "There must be due recognition for the effort required to prepare for any game. Witnessing their concentration and commitment, along with their enthusiasm to participate, was profoundly impactful. I was an admirer in that environment and thoroughly enjoyed every aspect." In 2022, Hurts appeared on NFL Slime Time, a weekly show dedicated to American football for children, where he assisted in mentoring young flag football players from the school district of Philadelphia. Will the Philadelphia Eagles discover a strategy to retain emerging star Zach Bond during free agency this upcoming offseason? Free agency is set to commence in March, and Bond is decidedly a player to monitor closely. Bond entered into a one-year agreement with the Eagles, but it is evident that he will command a significantly larger contract this offseason. He emerged as a prominent player for Philadelphia in 2024. Bound is arguably recognized as the top linebacker in the league this year, achieving his first Pro Bowl selection, earning first-team All-Pro honors, and becoming a finalist for the NFL Defensive Player of the Year award. Bound is expected to secure a lucrative deal this offseason, but will that be with Philadelphia? Pro Football Focus's Mason Cameron compiled a list of the premier linebackers poised for free agency, along with their most probable destinations. For Bond, he identified the Washington Commanders as the leading prospective team. "Potential landing spots: Washington Commanders," Cameron remarked. The Eagles linebacker delivered the highest-rated season of his career in 2024, 92, and received a nomination for the AP's Defensive Player of the Year award. However, given the singular year of outstanding performance, teams may adopt a more cautious strategy when extending offers to Bond. With a considerable budget available for free agency, Washington seems positioned to actively enhance its defense in the offseason and may exhibit a lower level of risk aversion. As veteran Bobby Wagner prepares to re-enter free agency, the Commanders might pursue another seasoned player if they cannot retain him, and Bond is someone they are intimately familiar with. According to Over the Cap, Washington possesses the third highest cap space in the league. The Commanders currently have just over $78 million in cap space and more than $68 million in effective cap space. Conversely, Philadelphia's financial standing is not comparable to that of Washington. Nevertheless, it is hoped that Bond expresses a desire to return to the city in 2025. The Philadelphia Eagles engaged in a 2-hour practice session in New Orleans on Wednesday, with 4 players participating on a limited basis. Defensive tackle Jalen Carter, illness. Running back Kenneth Gainwell, concussion knee. Wide receiver Devonta Smith, hamstring. And defensive end Brandon Graham, elbow. In addressing the media, Eagles head coach Nick Sirianni emphasized repeatedly that the central theme was to focus and refocus. "It is not an ordinary week," he stated. "You aim to maintain as much normalcy as possible, yet the circumstances are unique, and the obligations vary. The game itself is also atypical, so one must concentrate and reorient. This serves as valuable preparation for the game." Similar to the Chiefs, the practice regimen mirrored that of a typical Wednesday during the regular season. "For many individuals, this is not their initial experience here, which I consider significant," remarked Sirianni. "I believe our players are focused on their responsibilities and are relishing their time together." He further noted, "It continually returns to managing what is within your control, which is a theme we have emphasized throughout the year, maintaining concentration on one's duties." If you reside in the metropolitan areas of Philadelphia or Kansas City, congratulations. The fact that your city has reached the Super Bowl correlates to approximately an additional $200 in your finances. Indeed, whether the Philadelphia Eagles or the Kansas City Chiefs triumph in the forthcoming game on February 9th, both cities have achieved an economic advantage. Research indicates that merely reaching the playoffs is sufficient to enhance personal incomes in the area. Moreover, if your team secures a victory, both you and your community will experience an even more substantial economic uplift. This financial gain is not attributed to increased merchandise sales, as one might anticipate. Rather, the primary catalyst is consumer happiness. A successful season elevates fan spirits, which consequently, though indirectly, results in heightened consumer expenditure and productivity. I am a macroeconomist with a focus on sports economics, and my colleague Christian End from Xavier University is a psychologist specializing in fan behavior. Collectively, we have published 2 studies merging our fields of expertise. A winning proposition, the economic impact of successful NFL franchises, and team success, productivity, and economic impact. In a study utilizing data from the late 20th and early 21st centuries, we identified that when a team progresses from 0 to 11 wins, the standard tally required to qualify for the playoffs, its home region experiences an average increase in per-person income of approximately $200 over the year, adjusted for inflation. Furthermore, we observed that winning the Super Bowl correlates with an additional $33 bonus, also adjusted for inflation. When one multiplies $200 by the 6 million residents of the Philadelphia metropolitan area and the 2 million inhabitants of the Kansas City region, the resulting total is quite substantial. If you have ever attended a Super Bowl parade, you might assume that the income increase is related to heightened spending on merchandise associated with the team. However, research indicates that professional sports teams typically have a minimal impact on local income levels. Even the act of hosting the Super Bowl does not appear to yield a significant economic benefit. Our research suggests that residents are better off financially when their local team wins the Super Bowl, rather than when their area serves as the host for such an event. So, if individuals are not allocating more funds directly to the team, there must be alternative factors at play. Our research suggests 2 potential explanations, both of which pertain to well-being. Initially, we posited that individuals experiencing higher levels of happiness are likely to increase their spending. This expenditure subsequently redistributes wealth within the community through wages, resulting in an elevation of overall incomes. Significantly, the contention is that these individuals are enhancing their expenditures across various domains, not solely on items connected to the sports teams. Given that the football season typically concludes in December, it is plausible that elated parents who support the local NFL franchise allocate more funds towards holiday gifts for their children. With the Super Bowl extending later into the winter months, those who hold affection for their local team may invest in more exquisite floral arrangements and an increased quantity of chocolates for Valentine's Day if their team achieves victory in the Super Bowl. An alternative explanation involves heightened productivity. Psychological studies have indicated that individuals who are happier exhibit greater productivity. Thus, as the season advances and the hometown team continues to succeed, it is reasonable to infer that local residents will arrive at work in a positive state and demonstrate increased diligence. Prior research supports this hypothesis. For instance, a 2011 investigation revealed that improved performance by the home team in Washington correlated with heightened productivity among federal regulators. In regions dominated by private enterprises essentially, most of the remaining United States, a surge in productivity would typically enhance the profitability of companies, which might ultimately result in increased earnings for local residents. Furthermore, even individuals who do not follow sports experience advantages when their neighbors are happier, as they tend to spend more and engage in more industrious work. Regardless of the outcome of the Super Bowl, both the Philadelphia and Kansas City metropolitan areas have already experienced positive effects, with both supporters and non-supporters in these regions poised to gain from increased income levels.